Hey friends, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Angie and I enjoy sharing different projects we have going on around our home. Today I'm sharing part 3 in my Thrift Flip home decor series. Last week I refinished a dresser and just took it down to the bare wood, and then the week before that I just took a thrifted jar and turned it into an aged vessel. If you missed any of those videos, I'll put a link in the description box below so you can catch up. Today our project is going to be really short and simple, and it is just an easy DIY that you can do in a day, and it turns out beautiful. So without further ado, let's get on with the makeover. If you are new to thrifting, one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you is never look at the color of anything. Always look at the size and the shape, and if you like that, color can always be changed. There are so many baskets at the thrift store and you can get them for just a few dollars. When I saw this one at the thrift store, I loved the shape and I loved the woven texture of it, and I knew that I could change the color. As you can see, this basket was very orange and it had some red undertones, but I knew a little bit of paint could make this basket beautiful decor for our home. This basket cost me $2 and I grabbed it up and brought it home to give it a makeover. To start this makeover, I'm using my favorite Fusion Mineral paint in the color Raw Silk. I just pour a little bit into a paper plate so that I don't contaminate the paint by dipping my brush back and forth into the container. This is a beautiful off-white color, and this Fusion Mineral paint is wonderful if you've never used it before. It doesn't require a top coat. They have beautiful colors to choose from. I'm going to paint one coat of paint all over this basket, and I don't want perfection. So I'm not covering every square inch of this basket. I'm just putting a light coat and just dabbing it on, really trying to get into all the nooks and crannies, but not really covering the whole basket. I want some of this brownish, orangish color to shine through, so that it gives it a little more depth and dimension. I would just like to take a few minutes and tell you thank you so much for spending a portion of your day here with us on our channel. It means so much to us. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. You can also give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, and share the video with anyone that you know that would like our content. If you have enjoyed these videos that I'm calling my Thrift Flip Home Decor series, leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to see more videos like this, also let me know. I love thrifting and I love upcycling things, and this helps me to clean out my storage and get my projects done. So if you'd like to see more, let me know. And I would also like to know if you've upcycled any thrifted finds lately and what you've upcycled. I always love to hear what other people are doing with their thrifted finds, and it's just inspiring to just share your different stories. I also like to thrift and just use things as is. I love to find items like that I can just clean up and move them right into my home. So let me know what kind of thrifter you are. Do you like to upcycle, or do you like to just buy as is and use it in your home? I just keep adding a layer of paint all the way around the basket, and this day that I did this project, it was about 70 degrees outside. We had lots of sunshine, and so it was a perfect day for a DIY project. And so I just sat out here, listened to the birds, and just enjoyed the sunshine and DIY'd this little basket. Now I'm taking a paper towel and I'm kind of wiping the paint a little bit back so that I can expose a little bit more of that color that was on the basket before. I don't want a whole lot shining out, but I do want a little bit. And so then I take my paintbrush and I just dab it on the areas that I haven't painted yet, and just cover it up ever so slightly and add that little bit of off-white color to this basket. Now I'm going to paint the handle, and I was going to also tell you, if you like a basket but you don't like that it has a handle, the handle is easily removable. You just cut the little strips that hold it on there and it slides right out. So that's an easy DIY also, and you can change the whole look of a basket. I love the handle on this basket, and it gives me Peter Rabbit vibes, which is spring-like to me. Also, for a budget-friendly tip, you can pick up inexpensive baskets at the thrift store, use them as is or paint them, and use them as Easter baskets for your children. So now I'm taking a wet paper towel and I'm going to wet distress this basket. So wet distressing is basically what it sounds like. You just wet a paper towel or a rag and you wipe it on the paint and it removes some of it. So it's a distressed look, but you can control it a little bit with the wet rag. So I'm just doing this in random spots all over the basket so that I can expose that color up under it. And this just gives the illusion that the basket is older than what it is, and it looks like it has layers and layers of paint on it. You can skip this step and just paint it all completely white, or you can do more distressing and have more of that bottom color peek out. You could also add a coat of paint on top of this off-white color and then wet distress it and have those two colors peeking through. So there's so many options that you can do to make this basket your own. I also did do a little bit of painting on the inside. I wasn't sure if you were going to be able to see that, so I did paint it. This next step is completely optional, but I want my basket to look aged, so I'm going to add some dark wax to this basket. If you don't have dark wax on hand, you can also use watered down brown paint, or you can also use watered down black paint. Just whatever you want your basket to look like. If you want it to have a white look, you can water down white paint. I love to use wax on my projects, so I always keep some on hand. But what I like to do is get a paper plate and put a little bit of wax onto the paper plate. And this just keeps my container of wax from being contaminated from me dipping my paper towel back into the can and maybe transferring some of that paint in there or different things that may come off the basket into my wax. Just know that if you use dark wax, it can change the color of your project that you're working on. So if you want to be able to wipe some off, be sure to use a layer of clear wax first, and that way it serves as a sort of eraser if you get too much or you don't like the look of it. I've kind of learned how to use the dark wax, and so I just use it without clear wax on this basket. Now, if I'm doing the dark wax on furniture, I always use a clear wax so that it's sort of my safety net. But this basket, I'm just going with the dark wax and just adding it all in the nooks and crannies to make it look aged and to just give it a little more depth and color, and just to kind of kick it up a notch and make it look a little bit more like a cottage type basket. You can add as little or as much dark wax as you would like to your basket, and we are not striving for perfection. We are just trying to make this basket look like it's been around for years and years. And the dark wax looks a little bit like dirt and grunge that has just collected in the basket over the years. But the good thing is, it's not dirt and grime. It is just wax. So you don't have to have all that dirt and yuck in your house with the dark wax. So just keep adding the dark wax all the way around. It doesn't matter if you've got more wax on one side than you do on the other. Just turn it around and you've got a completely different looking basket. So don't stress out about this project. Just enjoy the creative process and make it your own. After I add the wax, I take my paper towel and I blend all of the wax together and get out all of the chunks. This just pushes the wax down into the nooks and crannies and makes the basket look a little bit more authentic. After I've added wax all around the bottom of the basket, Then it's time to start on the handle. And then I just add the wax in the same way all around the handle and then blend it in with my paper towel. And then when I'm happy with how everything looks, now it's time to fill it up with flowers. I have these dried hydrangea blooms that you know I love in this red basket, and I want to change it to this more neutral basket. And I will add more spring flowers as we get closer to spring, but for right now I'm going to use my dried hydrangeas inside this basket. To keep from using so many dried hydrangeas, I am stuffing the bottom of this basket with grocery bags. And you can see through my basket, so I'm using these brown grocery bags just so it almost looks like the inside of the basket. This also can save you money if you're buying faux blooms from a store and you're stuffing your basket with it. Stuff the bottom first with something, and then that way it won't take as many blooms, and that way it saves you a little money. Next, I'm just going to add these dried hydrangeas on top of the grocery bags and just pile it up high so that it really looks like a cottage basket. I'm adding flowers to my basket, but keep in mind baskets are good for so many things. You could add your collection of vintage quilts to this basket and put it on top of a piece of furniture for a display. You could add books to a basket and put it on a shelf. You could add your children's toys and store it in their bedroom. And you could also use it for bed linens or clothes and store the baskets in a closet. You could do so many beautiful things with a basket, and you could even use them as a laundry basket and just include the beauty in the mundane. I don't know about you, but I really love surrounding myself with beautiful things, and they don't have to cost a lot of money, and a lot of them you can create with your own two hands, which to me makes it that much more special. I think that it's important as homemakers to bring beauty into those everyday tasks that you are doing to care for your family, and it makes you a little bit more thankful when you are carrying out those different tasks, and it makes you realize that you are very blessed to be able to have this opportunity to care for your family. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope that you were inspired by that video and that you will find a basket to make over for your home. And as always, thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new to our channel, please hit that subscribe button, and you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and our blog, Our Contented Home. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.